About a year ago, I received a Facebook message the day before Valentine's Day reading, "Are we still on for tomorrow?" It was from some guy I went to middle school with and I hadn't seen in like 3 years. I was a little confused and asked back, "What are you talking about?" He proceeded to tell me about the plans he made to hook up if we were both single. The problem with that was that never happened. I never made those plans. At first, I was more outraged than worried. I continued to ask questions as to why this boy I hadn't seen in years would think I wanted to date him. He told me that we had been chatting on Twitter and had been flirting back and forth with each other. This is when I started to get freaked out. Someone was pretending to be me online. I asked for the Twitter handle and the user had been recently deleted. I asked him if anything else creepy was going on, and then he sent me a bunch of pictures the fake me sent to him with my face photoshopped onto them. I took this to the police and they basically brushed me off, asking if I had a rival girl at school or flirted with someone's boyfriend or something. Basically, just asking if I was a petty high school girl. What's worrying me now is Valentine's Day is coming up fast, and I hadn't spoken to the person since. I posted this once before, but didn't do the spacing correctly, so it was removed. I also found the cards, so now I can include pictures. This is something that I just can't figure out. I'm not sure what to think about it. Maybe you guys have an opinion. I'm a 19-year-old female. When I was 8, right around Valentine's Day, I received one of those small manila envelopes in the mail. It had no return address, but it was sent from another state that I did not know anyone from. When I opened it, it was simply a folded sheet of computer paper with a picture of Linus from Charlie Brown holding a heart and his blanket. It appeared to be drawn and colored by hand. On the inside was a short Valentine's Day message with a small personal detail about my life that only someone close to me would know. Naturally, I thought it was probably my grandparents or my parents trying to do something nice for me. Every year, I received one of these cards around Valentine's Day. Every year, it had a picture of Linus and included a detail of my life, which was typed in the same font. Example, the Valentine's Day after I adopted my dog, Bailey. The card said, "Would Bailey be jealous if you were my Valentine?" I kept most of these and managed to find a few as I was rummaging through old worthless junk. I included some pictures at the end. When I got older, I finally mentioned it to my grandparents, fully expecting it to be them, but they swore that they weren't sending them, and I truly do believe them, because I had expressed my concerns by this point, and they aren't the type to want to scare me. Neither are my parents. The only other family I have are in the US, and they are my dad's parents, who don't speak English well, and have never owned a computer. They immigrated there, and wouldn't know people in so many states, aside from my parents and my brother, who find it strange as well. Besides that, I have no other family. I still get the cards every year, always the same, except for one Valentine's Day a few years ago. I received a stuffed teddy bear and a big chocolate heart along with the card. Needless to say, I did not eat the chocolate, and I searched that goddamn teddy bear, half convinced there would be a camera in it. After that year, I started just receiving the cards again. In any case, as a child, it was sort of exciting and mysterious, like a secret admirer. Now it's just unnerving. I have racked my brain for years trying to figure out who it could possibly be, and I keep on coming up empty-handed. It still makes me uneasy, but if this person wanted to hurt me, I think they would have done it by now. I've never felt threatened by them, so I don't think there's much I can do about it. The main thing I want to know is why, and what is the point, and who? I may never find out. Update. I found some information about the teddy bear and chocolates I received 5 years ago. For those of you who hadn't read my first post, it's about these anonymous Valentine's Day cards I've been receiving since I was 8. Anyways, here's what else I found out. A lot of you guys had questions about the bear, and I actually found it. I'm glad that for whatever reason I decided to keep it, even though it gave me the creeps to pick it up and look at it long enough. enough to take pictures, it adds some more information that I find interesting. I don't see any real significance about the bear itself. If anyone realizes it or thinks it means something, please let me know. The tags on the back of it, which I never looked at before, offer a lot more information. Apparently, it was handmade in Vermont. It even has a phone number and the website of the company that made it. It also includes the year the bear was made, December 2010, which leads me to believe that I probably received it 2 months later, February 2011. That would make me 14 at the time. I have been to Vermont several times to visit my great-grandmother in a nursing home. She died quite a few years ago, definitely before I was 14. She was 101 when she died, and not very coherent in the years before that. So although it's possible it was her, we were never close, so I doubt it. It is interesting though. Any thoughts? Another update. So I should have looked at the website before I posted my previous update. I looked around and it seems that their main thing is beargrams. Basically, the sender picks a teddy bear and gives whatever address they want it to be sent to. When I saw the picture of the box, I remembered the box this bear came in. It was definitely the same one. I remember it being a little odd to me at the time. The website described it as a fun gift box printed with travel games inside, so your bear doesn't get bored on its journey. And of course, the box also has an air hole to ensure your bear gets lots of fresh air. This just adds to the childlike attitude of this person. That might be an appropriate gift for an 8-year-old or even younger, but I mean, a 14-year-old? One other thing I noticed is that the bear the person chose was $50, cheaper than most of the other ones I saw, but definitely more than the cost of the mail service. Also, there goes my theory of the person living in Vermont. One thing I did notice was that they have a lifetime warranty. So if your bear gets damaged, you can send him/her to the bear hospital to be nursed back to health. So I'm wondering if I called, would they be able to give me any information on the sender? Or was it too long ago? The whole thing is just bizarre. When I was in high school, I lived in a really small town in Texas. It was the kind of place where everybody was either related to each other or hated each other. I had no family there, so yeah, but I did have a pretty blonde girlfriend and was pretty hated for that too. Nothing major, just some petty harassment, occasional fights, but it had been escalating. So that's why, on Valentine's Day, my girlfriend and I decided to skip the school dance and just stay in and watch a movie at her house while her parents went out. Just better to avoid trouble. We borrowed her dad's car, a tiny Honda hatchback, and went into town. We stopped at the video store for a movie and went to Dairy Queen for some ice cream and then headed home. Now, she lives in the complete boonies, out in the middle of the woods, along a lonely road with no streetlights. We're chatting, eating our blizzards, and all of a sudden, a car comes up behind us. No big deal. What was a very big deal was that when the headlights flooded the interior of her car, I saw 2 hands on the back seat and a head coming up from the hatchback part of the car. As soon as the lights hit, the head and hands retreated back down. A solid chill ran through the entire length of my body. I slowly reached down and pulled out my pocket knife, the only thing I had at the time. She saw me and asked what was wrong. Loudly, I said, "Nothing. I just have to stop at my friend's house real quick." She knew that was BS. I didn't have any friends. I pulled over at the next house that came up and jumped out of the car, yelling at her to jump out too. She jumped out in total confusion. I flipped the driver's seat forward and lunged into the back seat full maniac mode. He popped up like a jack-in-the-box with empty hands waving, hey, what y'all up to tonight?" It was some weird kid from our high school who we had never in our entire life spoken to before, ever. I said, "What the hell are you doing in our car?" His reply was, "I thought you guys were going to the dance, and I was just hitching a ride." We sat there staring at him with our mouths open, wondering what to do. He tried to act real cool, and obviously, we were in the middle of nowhere in some random person's driveway, so whatever he was planning was forgotten. We actually ended up driving him to the dance and dropping him off. The whole time, he's telling us to come inside with him. Yeah, no. We dropped his ass off and noped out of there as soon as we could. As soon as he got out of the car, my girlfriend started crying and shaking. She was so freaked out. I have no idea what he was trying to do when the lights caught him crawling out of the hatchback. I freaking hated that high school. Hey everyone, it's me. I just wanted to say before the video ends, firstly, have an amazing Valentine's Day. I hope you guys spend time with your family or loved ones. Also, I made a subreddit where you can upload your stories. Please be sure that they're all like true and everything's spelt right and good grammar and everything. And you can have a chance to have your story featured on the channel. I'll put the link to subreddit in the description. Anyways, I hope you all have a nice night. I'll see you guys in the next video.